Welcome back, everybody, to Parent Hacks. I'm Dustin Rubio, and I am here with
Alex Thomas.
Alex Thomas, the one and the only. Alex has been a youth leader.
What, 6 years now?
6 years almost, so 6 years experience. So we are on episode 2, and in this episode, we are talking about bullying. Right, so before we even get into bullying and the stuff we want to talk about, let's just define what bullying is. Let me just say what not the bullying we're talking about. We're not talking about the bullying if somebody disagrees with someone else or you have a different, I don't know, you might even have an argument. Things might get heated because you have two different standpoints. And I wouldn't be surprised in this climate now where people start to say like, oh, you're being a bully, you're bullying me. That's not what we're talking about at all. That's not the bullying we're talking about. We're talking about bullying in the sense of it's a repeated aggressive behavior towards someone that's intentional. You know what I'm saying? And I think the key word is it's repeated, it's intentional, and it's aggressive. Now this could be something where it's harming somebody physically, could be emotionally, could be mentally, but that's the bullying we're talking about. Cool, now that we established that, let's put 5 minutes on the clock and we're gonna talk about bullying. So ready? Not, here we go. So Alex, we just want to share with all these awesome parents just some thoughts, I guess, about how to approach the child, your child, when they're being bullied. And my son a few years ago was being bullied. He had a friend in school, and then all of a sudden on Monday he had got smacked in the face, came home, he was sad, and I guess so to start off with, number one in how to approach your child, I guess as a tip, is you have to listen. Don't do what I did. Listen to what they're saying and control your emotions. I did not do that.
Easier said than done, though.
Yeah, easier said than done. Because you're just, this is somebody you love, you care about, you want to protect. And it's a difficult thing, and I didn't do that, and I think my son kind of took it as if he was in trouble, like I was getting mad at him, and that wasn't the case. So it's listening, controlling your emotions, and it's not as if you're just sitting back saying it's okay, for your son or daughter to get bullied, but you're just listening to them. You don't want it to be miscommunicated as if it's their fault. And then the other thing you do that within number one is you reassure them that this time will pass, okay? That you are on the case. Something's being done, and that was something that I did do. Is I would reassure that I'm on the case, something's being done, and I'm gonna go to the school, I'm gonna talk to them, and yeah, that's what I did. So number one, listen, control yourself, and reassure.
So tip number 2, seek support from the school. In these situations, you have to talk to the school because that's where most of the sources of the bullying comes from. We need to do anything necessary to protect your child. If that comes to means like have to remove from a class, or if it comes to extreme circumstances, maybe you have to remove school, they have to do whatever necessary to keep them happy and protected. Right,
tip number 3, this is not a popular one, okay? This will not make you popular in your house, but this is for, I guess, a different sort of facet of bullying that we have never seen in probably until the last 10 years. It's cyberbullying. And it used to be where if you're getting bullied at school, after school, or maybe even after school in the schoolyard or on your way home, but the safe place was at home. But due to the internet and the young people living online,
nowhere is safe.
There's nowhere safe, really. There's nowhere to be safe. And so if it does, I'm not saying just institute this as law in your house because you want to have some control, but I think something that could be helpful in protection of your child is do not be afraid to control the internet in your house. So I know of parents who at the end of the day, whenever the parents are going to bed, they collect all the phones in the house and they charge them in their room. I've known of parents who will turn off the Wi-Fi. They'll like take a cord out. I think it was the dad who did that, took the cord out, and there's just no Wi-Fi. Listen, this ain't gonna get you, especially if you've never done this before and you're just instituting that, not gonna make you popular.
You're not gonna be popular, especially with teenagers. Especially.
Yep. But listen, again, it's only for extreme measures of, if a young person is being bullied, but it's one of those things if they just can't stay offline,
it's like for their own good.
It is, and it could be for a season as well, and you might want to reassure them of that. So that's number 3.
So tip number 4 is to try and build your child's self-esteem. One of the hardest things as a parent is to build a child's self-esteem, especially when it is at an all-time low through bullying. It's something that's incredibly hard. As a youth worker, we're both very familiar with that, trying to encourage young people. The things we try to do is go above and beyond for them. So the little things that we do as youth workers is trying to take them out for a coffee, or trying to take them to these little conferences. And I think as a parent, we need to encourage that to you guys as well. We just really want you to encourage, maybe just gather around your child's friends and encourage them to go along to these things with them.
Yeah, and I think within reason, going above and beyond within reason. I think nobody's asking you to take out a loan and, get them a pony or something ridiculous. But I think it's something of like, look, if we're talking to Christian parents, and these are Christian young people, look, if there's a local youth group and they've never been involved in it, and look, there's a festival, there's some sort of event happening, then, listen, a young person, a child's confidence in the future of them being confident, there's no price on that. So for me as a parent, I would spend that. If I'm tired, I got off work, it's been a long week, look, I'm going to drive that. I don't care how far things are. And I know of parents like that. We would know of parents like that. We've done that. Like, they live so far across the other side of the city and would take them all the way kind of where I live, just so we can do some surfing and do some stuff like that, because it's all about just trying to just build confidence and encourage them, so it's such a good shout with that one.
I think on a social aspect as well, taking them to cinema or something and just paying for a cinema ticket as well for that friend as well, an hour and a half can mean the world to someone.
Right, so those are a few tips. We got a couple different sections that we want to kind of get into. So the next one, without further ado, is on cyberbullying. So, right, Alex, I'll leave that to you.
Biggest epidemic today, pretty much. It's probably the number one cause of bullying. You cannot escape it if you're on social media. And here's just a few tips to help your child, well, not avoid it, because it's very hard to avoid, but to help alongside the track with their journey. Tip number 1, privacy settings on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat is a massive thing. If you're not aware of privacy settings, you can actually choose who sees what story. You can actually choose who they're friends with. You can actually choose these things. And maybe look up on YouTube for videos on how to do these things. Guide your child along how to do these, because with privacy settings, you're most likely to avoid these situations a lot more than having an open account where anyone can add your child. Tip number 2, there's a block button on Facebook. There have a lot of trolls online, and especially friends in school who would like to troll and bully your child. You can actually block them, and your child won't be able to receive messages or any calls or anything tagged from that person who is bullying them. So the block button is a massive thing that needs to be taken advantage of on Facebook or any social media platform, especially Twitter as well. I think they've only introduced
Instagram.
Every social media platform. Make sure to use it, especially when necessary in these type of situations. So tip number 3 for a parent and child is that we need to keep an eye on about how they're respecting others. Today, there's so many pages on Facebook with multi-million likes. To name one, the Lad Bible, which is a massive page today, and they post articles, and you see a lot of online trolls in the comment section where they just intentionally bully. Make sure your child is not one of those online trolls, because the replies comments can be ruthless at times. They can be very horrible, and they can say so
What is some stuff that they would say?
Well, if I can just look up one article now, there'll be someone making a troll about a player, and they'd be like, oh, kill yourself, or you're an absolute idiot, or best to put it lightly, and it's just some of these comments can actually get to your child. And if who wants to see a random person tell the person to go kill themselves? It's such
and that is something that has happened in America. That was a big thing of a teenager girl that was telling a teenage boy, they were supposed to be boyfriend girlfriend, but was trying to encourage him to take his life, and he did. Messy situation. So it is such a big thing.
It's such a horrible thing when you have strangers telling you to go kill yourself as well. And this leads into tip number 4, save evidence. And this is such a massive thing where we need to take advantage of, especially if you're going to go to the school, especially if there's people bullying you in your school. Save the evidence. Take screenshots of what these people are saying about your child. So a key thing to you is just to be a parent, as Dustin said, control your emotions, try not to be angry, save evidence, be responsible, and hand it into the right people, and it can be dealt with properly.
Right, so the last section we're going to talk about is I guess signs, some things to look for if your child is being bullied. So the first sign I would say to look for if your child is being bullied is them being upset after being online. Now, it could be that maybe their favorite team lost. It could be that their favorite artist canceled a tour. I mean, like, if it's consistent, if your child is like addicted, you would say, to being online and they love it, they're always on there talking to their friends, but all of a sudden now you're starting to notice in a week that they're getting upset whenever they get off, or they're even to the point where they're staying offline, and it's just kind of like, wait, what the heck, could be a sign that some bullying is taking place. So number 2 is your child not wanting to go to school. Okay, so I'm not talking about, they're just tired, or they just don't like the exam and the revision and all that stuff that goes on. I mean, like, if your child, like, it's a big social place for them, like they like it, it's where they see all their best friends, all their favorite people in the world are there, and all of a sudden they just do not want to go to school. And they don't really have good enough reasons, or it's the same reason over and over again. It's like, there's no possible way this is the right reason. Could be a chance that they're getting bullied in school. And the third thing is a sudden drop of self-esteem.
Especially with normal children, they're usually quite bright and they're quite happy, and all of a sudden just to see them sad, you just question it, don't you? Just like, why this? So it could be a definite sign of bullying. Yeah.
So I hope this was beneficial. I hope it got some stuff, kind of going in your head and thinking. We, by no stretch of the imagination, feel like we've covered everything. This is just scratching the surface and things to think about. And again, in this day and age, we want to be proactive rather than reactive. But if we have to be reactive, then just to make sure we take the right steps. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was beneficial. Like this, share this. You can leave a comment if you have some better tips, some other stuff that you've experienced or you've done with. We're all open for it. So thanks, Alex, for joining us.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next time.